Hey everybody, welcome back to the show. Today we're diving into something really important, the truth about alcohol. Now I know what you're thinking, Ellen, why so serious? But seriously folks, it's something that touches so many lives and not always in a good way. Did you know that here in America, over 85% of adults have tried alcohol? That's a whole lot of us. And it's not just us, it's a global thing. In the UK, it's around 80%. In parts of Africa, it varies widely, and even in Italy, the land of delicious wine, it's over 70%. Now, I'm not saying we can't enjoy a glass of wine or a cold beer every now and then, but here's the thing. Alcohol affects everyone differently. Your age, whether you're a man or a woman, how much you weigh, if you're taking any medications, it all plays a role. We often think of that warm and fuzzy feeling alcohol can give us, that feeling of relaxation. But what we don't always think about is the science behind it. Alcohol is actually a neurotoxin, meaning it can affect our brains and nervous systems. So today, we're going to break it all down, the good, the bad, and the messy, so you can make informed choices about alcohol. We'll talk about its effects on your body, your mind, your wallet, and even your relationships. Stay tuned because this is important stuff. Okay, let's start with the basics. We all know alcohol can make us feel a little different. Maybe you feel more relaxed, more sociable, or maybe a little more likely to bust a move on the dance floor. That's because alcohol affects our central nervous system, slowing down those brain signals. In the short term, that can mean slurred speech, slower reflexes, and let's be honest, sometimes some questionable decisions. But here's where it gets serious: the long-term effects. Drinking too much, especially over a long period, can lead to some pretty scary stuff. We're talking about heart problems, liver disease, even an increased risk of certain cancers. And don't even get me started on the damage it can do to your brain. We're talking memory problems, difficulty concentrating, and even changes in your mood and personality. And it's not just about how much you drink in one sitting, it's about the bigger picture. Regular, heavy drinking can really take a toll on your body. Think of it like this. If you're constantly putting your body through the ringer, eventually something's gotta give. So before you reach for that next drink, remember, it's not just a drink, it's your health. And your health is precious, people. We only get one body, so let's treat it with kindness, okay? So we've talked about the fun stuff, the relaxing effects of alcohol. But what happens when the party's over and your body starts to say, enough is enough? That's when withdrawal symptoms can kick in. And trust me, they're no picnic. We're talking about things like anxiety, shakiness, sweating, nausea, and even insomnia. In severe cases, people can even experience seizures or hallucinations. It's like your body is throwing a tantrum because it's so used to having alcohol. Now, I know this might sound scary, but knowledge is power, right? The good news is that withdrawal symptoms can be managed, often with the help of medical professionals. They can provide medications to ease the symptoms and make the process a little less bumpy. But the most important thing is to remember that you don't have to go through this alone. There are people who care about you and want to help. Talk to your doctor, reach out to a support group, or confide in a trusted friend or family member. All right, let's talk about your liver for a sec. It's a pretty amazing organ, working hard behind the scenes to filter out all the toxins we put into our bodies, including alcohol. But even the mighty liver has its limits. When you drink too much alcohol, especially over a long period, it's like forcing your liver to work overtime. And just like a car engine that's constantly running hot, eventually it starts to break down. This can lead to a condition called alcoholic liver disease, which ranges from fatty liver, which sounds exactly like what it is, to more serious conditions like alcoholic hepatitis and cirrhosis. Cirrhosis is particularly scary because it means your liver is severely scarred and can't function properly. This can lead to a whole host of other problems like jaundice, turning yellow, not in a good way, fluid buildup in your abdomen, and even liver failure. Now, I know this is heavy stuff, but that's why we're talking about it. Your liver is your friend, people. Let's treat it with the respect it deserves. Okay, we've covered the liver, but did you know alcohol can also mess with your kidneys? These bean-shaped powerhouses are responsible for filtering your blood and getting rid of waste products. And just like the liver, they can only handle so much. When you drink alcohol, it actually messes with your kidneys' ability to do their job. It can disrupt the delicate balance of fluids and electrolytes in your body, leading to dehydration. which is never fun, and even kidney damage. Over time, excessive drinking can increase your risk of chronic kidney disease, which means your kidneys aren't working as well as they should. And in severe cases, it can even lead to kidney failure, which is as serious as it sounds. So the next time you're tempted to have just one more, remember your hardworking kidneys. They're counting on you to make healthy choices. We've talked about the liver and kidneys, but alcohol doesn't play favorites. It can affect pretty much every organ in your body, and some of them might surprise you. Let's start with the heart. You might think of alcohol as a relaxant, but it can actually raise your blood pressure and increase your risk of heart disease, stroke, and even heart failure. Not so relaxing after all, huh? And then there's the pancreas, that unsung hero that helps with digestion. Alcohol can cause the pancreas to become inflamed, leading to a painful condition called pancreatitis. Trust me, you don't want that. But it doesn't stop there. Alcohol can weaken your immune system, making you more susceptible to infections. It can mess with your sleep, your hormones, and even your bones. It's like a party crasher that just won't quit. We've talked about the physical effects of alcohol, but it's important to remember that it doesn't just affect your body, it affects your whole life. Chronic alcohol use can lead to a whole host of complications, from relationship problems and job loss to legal issues and financial instability. It can also increase your risk of accidents, injuries, and even violence. And let's not forget about the emotional toll. Alcohol can worsen existing mental health conditions like anxiety and depression, and it can even lead to new ones. It's like a vicious cycle that can be tough to break free from. But here's the thing, there is hope. There are resources available to help people who are struggling with alcohol abuse. Whether it's therapy, support groups, or medication, there are ways to get back on track. Now this is where things get really dangerous. Mixing alcohol with other drugs. Whether it's prescription medications, over-the-counter drugs, or illegal substances, combining them with alcohol can be a recipe for disaster. Alcohol can amplify the effects of other drugs, making them more unpredictable and potentially deadly. It can also increase the risk of side effects, some of which can be life-threatening. For example, mixing alcohol with opioids like painkillers can slow down your breathing and even lead to an overdose. Combining it with stimulants like cocaine can put extra strain on your heart and increase your risk of a heart attack. The bottom line is this: mixing alcohol with other drugs is like playing Russian roulette with your health. It's simply not worth the risk. Let's talk about the brain for a minute. It's the command center of your body, responsible for everything from your thoughts and emotions to your movements and senses. And guess what? Alcohol can really mess it up. Over time, heavy drinking can actually shrink your brain, damaging brain cells, and disrupting the delicate communication pathways between different areas. This can lead to a whole host of problems, from memory loss and difficulty concentrating to impaired judgment and even personality changes. See that? The difference is pretty shocking, right? Alcohol can literally shrink your brain, folks. And the scariest part is that some of this damage can be irreversible. Alcohol and depression often go hand in hand. It's a vicious cycle. People who are depressed may drink to numb their pain, but alcohol is a depressant, so it can actually make their symptoms worse. Alcohol disrupts the balance of chemicals in your brain, including those that regulate mood, sleep, and anxiety. So while you might feel a temporary boost from that first drink, it's often followed by a crash that can leave you feeling even more down than before. And it's not just about how alcohol affects your brain chemistry. Chronic drinking can also lead to relationship problems, job loss, financial instability, and other life stressors that can contribute to depression. Alcoholism doesn't just affect the person who's drinking, it affects everyone around them. Families often bear the brunt of the emotional and financial burden, and relationships can be strained to the breaking point. Children of alcoholics are particularly vulnerable. They may grow up in chaotic and unpredictable environments, and they're at increased risk for a whole host of problems, including behavioral issues, mental health disorders, and even substance abuse themselves. But it's not just families that are affected. Alcoholism also has a ripple effect on communities, contributing to crime, violence, and a strain on healthcare and social services. Let's talk about money, honey. Alcohol can really put a dent in your bank account. Those drinks at the bar, those bottles of wine, those 6-packs of beer, they all add up. And that's not even counting the hidden costs of alcohol, like missed work, legal fees, and medical bills. Chronic alcohol use can lead to job loss, which can make it even harder to make ends meet. It can also lead to poor financial decisions, and even addiction to gambling or other risky behaviors. Alcohol and work don't mix. Drinking can impair your judgment, slow down your reaction time, and make it difficult to concentrate. This can lead to poor job performance, missed deadlines, and even accidents in the workplace. Chronic alcohol use can also lead to absenteeism, tardiness, and even job loss. It can damage your reputation, making it difficult to find new employment opportunities. We've covered a lot of ground today, folks, and I know it's been heavy, but it's important to understand the full impact of alcohol, both on our individual lives and on society as a whole. From the physical damage it can inflict on our organs, to the emotional distress it can cause, to the financial and social consequences it can have. Alcohol is a serious issue. But here's the good news. Knowledge is power. By understanding the risks and making informed choices, we can all take control of our relationship with alcohol. Hey, before you go, don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more important conversations like this one, and give this video a big thumbs up if you found it helpful. And remember, the information I've shared today is just a starting point. I encourage you to do your own research from reputable sources like Google Scholar and government websites. The more you know about alcohol's effects, the better equipped you'll be to make healthy choices for yourself and your loved ones. We've talked about the good, the bad, and the downright scary when it comes to alcohol. We've seen how it can affect our bodies, our minds, our wallets, and even our relationships. But here's the thing. The choice is ultimately yours. You get to decide how much or how little alcohol you consume. You get to decide whether it's a part of your life or not. And if you do choose to drink, do it responsibly. Know your limits, pace yourself, and never drink and drive. Your health and well-being are worth it.